chair over here.
There's a chair over here.
Alright. So, oh man. My name is Raymond Gutierrez. I was actually born and raised here in Salt Lake City, Utah. I am 23 years old, and I come from a family of 11. I'm the middle child of 9 kids, and I'm also the firstborn citizen. Sorry, this is starting early. So my parents migrated from Bolivia. They came here, you know, and as I said, I'm the firstborn citizen, so that all my older siblings, older than me, were all undocumented, and so were my parents. So my story goes, well, even as a citizen, I know what it's like to, you know, I've seen the struggles of what my siblings have had to go through, and my parents, and even as a family, you know, just the fear of being separated. And that fear, oh gosh, it's coming. that fear came true. It came to reality back in 2008 when I was 19 and I was going to college. It was December 26th, my dad, he brought me and all their siblings to the front room. And he sat us down and he handed deportation letters out to 6 members of my family. So I was about to lose half of my family. And I was ready to, you know, drop college, get jobs, so that I can take care of my younger siblings. Okay. It's a very painful, emotional time in my life. We lived every single day because we only had a month together. Deportation date was within a month. And we did family activities and everything, and you know, we just try to be close to each other as much as possible because I really believed that half of my family was going to get deported. So the day before the deportation date, we had like a last family dinner type of deal. Because we're just preparing for that day. We went together as a whole to the immigration office and we sat there, you know. They took my family in the back, like the ones that had the deportation letters, notice, took them in the back, and like I sat there with my younger siblings and one of my brother-in-laws, and we, you know, were waiting. We waited for hours for them to, you know, come back through the door. And honestly, at one point, I thought that they just took them and they were deporting them right then and there because I saw a white bus drive by. And, you know, that scared me. But they took them in the back and they fingerprinted them, you know, documented, like they recorded, made recordings of them and everything. And so, came to find out that it was not the one that was with us in the waiting room, but another brother-in-law, my former brother-in-law, who had turned my family into immigration. And he was going through divorce with my sister, so it was kind of like a revenge type of deal. But I don't know how he could do that, to split us up like that. Sorry. Sorry, I cry all the time. It's such a
Good. Embrace it.
Sandwich.
It's just so much pain. Every time I tell the story. reliving it, so I hate that I cry all the time, but it's just there. So after that, fortunately we found some attorneys that were able to represent us, or my family, and helped us a lot. I have 2 siblings, a brother and a sister, who are dreamers. There's, in the courts, the system, there's no law that will help them start that path towards legalization, as there were for my parents and my 2 sisters, who were able to they were granted permanent residency. Each of them had individual trials, but there's no law that will help these 2 siblings start that path. And so that's what the DREAM Act would do. That's why I support the DREAM Act. That's why I feel it's important that the DREAM Act passes, because the DREAM Act would help these 2. My brother, who introduced us, it's kind of hard to have my family here. Just point them out. So my 2 sisters back there. So my family's here, and it's kind of harder for me because they're listening. But my brother and my sister are my inspirations, and I love them and I respect them so much because they work so hard in school. And me as a citizen growing up, I was told, you're a citizen, you have all these opportunities. You can go to college, you can get financial aid, you can get scholarships, you can get a driver's license, you can get a job. And there's so many things. You can vote. I have all these things that I can do. And yet, these 2 who worked so hard, and they gave back to their community. And, I just can't, it's so hard for me to see them struggle the way they are right now. And it's hard for me to move on with my life, seeing them being held back. As I was saying, my brother, during his deportation proceedings, he managed to graduate with 2 bachelor degrees in business. And even with those degrees, he can't even use them. He has to find jobs, he does odd jobs here and there, change oils. Change people's oils and do cleaning services. Same with my sister. Goes on Craigslist to find any job, babysitting, cleaning. But they're both really smart individuals, talented. They have so much potential to give back to this country, more than what they've already had. And I just can't live on with life knowing this. And I don't know, kind of losing my train of thought here, because I'm just so distracted and looking at them in the eyes. Because I saw them struggle, and I've seen them live through their frustrations. So, why did I choose to walk 2,800 whatever miles? We rounded up to 3,000. Why did I choose to walk this? Why did I literally dropped everything in my life and took 8 months off. I did it for them. I did it so I could share my story, my family story, their story, to the communities out there. Because even as a citizen, I'm suffering with them. And so I fight for them. And I fight with them, dreamers. I got involved last year in the Salt Lake Dream Team because after the DREAM Act failed to pass in 2010, and after I saw them lose hope, I thought, it's not enough to sit back and hope anymore. I have to get involved. So that's what I did. The Salt Lake Dream Team actually found me on Facebook. It's so crazy.
I like that.
Yeah. You know, and just getting involved and just educating myself, learning about all these, like, more about the DREAM Act, more about, like, what we can do as a community. You know, and like, I just want to share, like, what can we do? What can you guys do? You know, we're here, we're walking across the country trying to, like, spread the word, put a face on the immigration issue because, you know, we're not criminals. My parents aren't criminals. They brought my family here for a better life. They did not come here, and they're not a threat to, you know, society. They're just working, raising us, because they knew that we would have a better life here. If they didn't make that decision of coming here, I wouldn't have been born here. I wouldn't have had the opportunities that I have now. And, you know, just going through, you know, the experiences of my life, I realized how blessed I am. Just being born here, just having the Social Security number and everything. And just learning about what's going on in Alabama and everywhere. Children getting separated from their parents. I don't know if you guys know this, but there's, like, last I read there was 5,000 children in foster homes in Alabama, just in Alabama, because their parents were deported because of that anti-immigration law. And, like, it's just not right to know about this, and I can't just sit down and do nothing. So that's what I'm doing here. And, you know, I'm sure you guys are curious, like, what we've been, like, how the walk's been so far, because we did start on March 10th at the Golden Gate Bridge. Now we are here. And let me just tell you, it's been an amazing experience. I didn't know what to expect. When we started walking, we were speaking at schools, churches, and it was just beautiful to see the support we got from people. And people who approached us and they're like, I'm undocumented. I'm a dreamer too. Thank you so much for what you're doing. And like I said, why am I doing this? What's the reason, like real reason why we're doing this? Or why I'm doing this? And that is to keep hope alive. Because there's those, in Nevada, the dropout rate is very high. A lot of Latinos, kids, who just don't see a future in their lives. You know, we were there and we shared our stories, we shared what we were doing, and they told them, we were encouraging them, you know, go, you know, study, go to school, graduate. You know, there is hope. You do have a future. Don't wait for someone to decide it. Don't let someone else decide it. You know, you have, like, they can decide their own future. They can make that, you know, their own path. So, you know, it's just been, oh my gosh, an amazing, amazing experience. And I know, I just want to point out, like, that's my story so far. You know, if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. But before that, Veronica, there's a part in your story that I know is, you know, like, just the struggles that you go through getting a driver's license. I just want to ask you to share that, because, yeah.
Well, at 16, I was